My aunt's brother-in-law recently developed cancer in his eyes and is now blind due to it. I dedicate this donation to the prevention of tragedies like this from happening in the future. Thank you. Ewan Goen donates $100. I had to donate during the block of SNES games. Hooray for the greatness of the Super NES, the best console ever. Good luck to all the runners, and let's beat cancer. Jen40 donates $10. It's been an amazing event so far, and we're only on the second day. This donation goes to naming Castform Nebby, because it's the right thing to pew. Mijika-chan donates $5. This one goes towards the Sonic Adventure 2 Battle Dark Story incentive, because I never completed it as a kid, and I'm too busy to try now. Hello to all the runners, and Godspeed. That really is one of my favorite parts of these marathons, is just being able to see those old games that you love, that whether you could never beat them or beat them but oh so slowly, just get absolutely destroyed. So hope you've been enjoying that. Dark Knight Jin donates $50. Save the galaxy and kill the animals. Oh, and the frames, I suppose, too. Mstreva89 donates $20. Lost my father to cancer 2 years ago, and I wouldn't want anyone to go through the same issue. Shout out to Dram55, and don't let Gork Phase 1 give you the business. I think we came out okay. $75 from Anonymous. Hey, 4th or 5th GDQ watching and donating. Just here to say thank you for all that you do to the runners, announcers, and the tech crew. Thank you so much. Anonymous with $10. I've been fighting cancer myself and want to send a message to everyone struggling with it. You can do it. Thanks to all participating runners, and good luck. Astroman with $5. For my bro Teals and his palette swap, Dark Teals. Guys, we have so many awesome things to donate for. We have got, tomorrow coming up, we've got the Super Metroid rotation, which is going to be the Super Metroid game itself, but the entire game is rotated, and the player will have to manipulate and find his way through that. We have a long way to go on that. Let's make it happen. I personally want to see that happen so badly. We're at currently just shy of 1,200 out of the 15,000 required, so we got a long way to go. We need your help to do it. If you were going to donate, then please put it towards something, and if you're not sure what to put it towards, we've got tons of ideas. You can check out the donation tracker on our site for fun ideas like that Super Metroid rotation, or playing the first 3 stages of Battle Clash in a mirror. So many options. Definitely check them out. Thank you so much to our sponsor, TinyBuild. Their first game is called No Time to Explain, and they've just been working on a whole ton of fun indie games since 2011, such as the game Speedrunners and many others. So definitely check them out. Very, very fun games. At these marathons themselves, there's so many different fun things to do. We have an arcade room set up, so many side rooms you can just kind of hang out with your friends and just play games. We also have a ton of pinball machines set up, and those pinball machines are actually being streamed. So if you want to kind of get a taste of what's going on behind the scenes, head on over to twitch.tv/pinballjoe and just see these marathon attendees playing fun pinball games. It's really awesome. All right, guys, let's get started with Caveman game number 2, Congo's Caper, run by Omnigamer.
The headset? Yeah, other one over there.
No way. Get ready for battle. Give me
All right, one round of applause for Omnigamer coming up with Congo's Caper. It's going to be awesome.
All right. So, yeah, like we said earlier in the interview part, this is the real Congo's Caper. Congo's Caper 2? Joe and Mac 2. Just, it happens to be without any mention of Joe and Mac. So, no surprise there that they tried to bring it over under a different moniker. But, all right, I'm going to get through a couple things pretty much as soon as we start. We good on timer? All right, so I'm going to do a countdown. 3, 2, 1, go. All right. This initial scenario here might look a little familiar to you if you've played through the first couple Joe and Mac games. But there's a couple new features, some of which you'll see plenty of times throughout the run. The main thing is this, this ability to roll. And there's a lot of kind of intricacies that really make that effective. First of all, when I'm rolling, I'm completely invincible, well, to regular enemies. I have a damage hitbox around me, and I move really fast, and I can climb walls. So between those things, like, yes, rolling is great. I need a slope to set it up, but there's also a lot of cases where you can just kind of start climbing up things like that. There we go. And if you keep up a roll at the beginning, you can do what I call roll storage. So you actually keep a flag set on your character that's anytime you go into the roll animation, you will continue to roll. So even when like there's absolutely no setup, you can just keep going with it. But it's kind of tricky to keep together. If I were to stop for even a single frame, it would take that away from me. Something else that's really important just happened right now. The game has a curious way of setting up HP. The first thing to note is, like, now I have 3 gems, which put me into kind of this Super Saiyan mode. And that gives me the ability to hover, among other things. But the biggest piece of that is that each of those gems actually act as HP now. If I had gotten hit with 1 or 2 gems, I would instantly lose all of them and then transform into a monkey. So it turns this from a 2-hit game into a 5-hit game, and that is critical for not only some of the skips that you'll see throughout, but just my general survivability, because without that, this game is a lot less survivable. But yeah, this might look a little familiar to you if you've played through Joe and Mac 1, just lack of a damsel in distress in the upper corner. And that's a purposeful callback. Unfortunately, T-Rex don't move so fast. Oh, he's jumped quickly. His actions are completely random, so I have to be watchful of not only him, but when he's going to be potentially jumping forward. And this turned out pretty good. All right. It's never over yet. There's all sorts of little minor tricks that you see just once or twice throughout the entirety of the run, and upcoming is one of them, assuming I pull it off. Nope. So what would have happened there is I'd actually land on top of the caveman as he's rolling around underwater, and that moves me down a fair bit faster than I would otherwise. But missed out on it this time. No worries. And here we go. That is not a fireball. There we go. Okay, I didn't want to take another hit for sure, but first boss out of the way, did pretty well. Taking 1 point of damage is fine there. What happens after this is that it develops into a kind of hub world, so I get to choose which track to follow and which boss to fight, kind of Mega Man-like. I just don't happen to get any new powers out of it. But it's very important that I set it up for the right way. One, just because I can move all the difficult stages to the early part of the run, and thus if I mess them up, get another shot at them if I was doing real attempts. But the other thing is just making sure that my gem supply is in pretty good stock. I want to, whenever possible, I should be at 3 gems. I don't particularly lose anything if I'm not. Oh, it'll be all right. There we go. The other thing is that I'm rolling, or rather setting up the roll much faster than I would be otherwise. And that's a technique I found called instant rolling. And I could not begin to describe to you how to actually do it. By this point in time, like, it's just muscle memory, but it's not something that flows very easily. If you're familiar with kind of fighting game style inputs, it's something like a quarter circle back to straight forward into a quarter circle rolling to down. Took a small detour just to grab that gem and make sure I'm fully stocked. The reason I do this set of stages is solely because of the difficulty of this next trick. And if I get it off, I'll describe what happens, but I got it.
Nice.
So at the very beginning, I start up a roll, I store it all the way through, and then I need to basically jump into a very shallow corner, which knocks me down and puts me into the roll animation, clip onto a wall. As soon as I'm touching the wall, I start to go up it, but I need to detach and then fall onto the floor and finish out that roll. So there's a lot of little pieces to actually making that happen, and it saves a fair bit of time.
So it's like when you clip into the wall, is
Oh
it
my
treat
gosh.
it like a slope? Is that how that
Yeah.
works?
Something like that. Yep. Well, we're just going to skip with our roll here. Slants are a little bit of a problem in general. Just because when you're running down them, you'll occasionally lose out on your actual footing. So if you want to jump and you're running down, you might not be able to. Okay, I didn't store the roll there. That's fine. And now we get to our second boss. It's a little curious. His HP is entirely just the bats that form in between, and since he starts off as a bunch of bats, it's pretty free to take out before you even gets to see his first attack. I most often can't do that without taking a hit, but you get the best victory screen, and we get to move on to second most difficult stage. So I won't be able to roll through every stage. You just kind of get the benefit of a lot of the times the way that it's laid out. That's a very opportune way to make it happen. Especially in these ninja stages, you aren't going to see me getting to roll out too often. But they set up multiple exits in a lot of the stages, and that one is kind of a kindness. Simply, if you fall down, there is no way to get back up. So they give you just enough to survive and get to an exit. Just as a courtesy in case you mess up on top. But, you know, for my purposes... All right, I kept the roll there too. For my purposes, that's pretty good. Okay. I had to clear him out so I can continue the roll on the way down. There we go. Yeah, and a lot of running this game, it's pretty rewarding in that if you do it right, you don't have to do a whole lot. Like, if you can set up a roll and keep it, you don't have to worry too much about whatever else is going on in the stage. The problem is getting to that point of actually setting up the roll, and there's a lot of opportunities to mess up and, say, lose your roll storage state. There we go. And now we're on to the ninja boss. He's got his own castle and everything. This is probably the first instance that you really see me, well, other than the earlier ninja stage, really abuse the invulnerability time. And they made a few mistakes in trying to come up with some way to make this ninja form, or the super form, like, particularly attractive. And one of the problems is that they give you a flat invulnerability timer. So every time I get hit, I get 4 seconds-ish of invulnerability time, which is pretty generous as far as most games go. The way that they meant to account for that is that if you get hit and turn back into the monkey, the transformation time to actually turn back into the monkey is counted as part of that 4 seconds as well, so it's significantly shorter. But it means that I can abuse the heck out of it when I'm in super form. Oh wow, he did get a hit on me. This ninja can look really random. Just a lot of jumping around as part of most of his attacks. But the thing is that he only has 3 patterns, and those patterns are really easy to pick up on. It's just that they're particularly long. So if you're not looking for them, it can look like you have no idea what he's going to do next, and it can make a lot of problems. But based on where he spawns, I immediately know what pattern he's going to do. All right, so now we're pretty much halfway in. We've got up next the fire and the tech stages. Not a whole lot to say here other than there's some more skips that take up some pretty important timing. I need to take a hit there on the spikes, but as I head over, there we go. Yep. It's just a lot of knowing exactly when you're going to lose the invulnerability time so you can make the best effort for it. And I mean, these stages are really short, even without trying to go for hidden exits or anything like that. This stage is an auto-scroller, but it has the distinction of being the stage that I discovered instant rolling on because, well, it's an auto-scroller and every surface you have is a slant. So it makes sense that I'm just going to screw around here anytime I get coming into a screw run. And you know, when people ask like how do speedrunners find bugs and glitches, most of the time, you know, it's just complete chance. When you play a game enough, you are just bound to stumble across some things that don't look quite right, but in the end can end up really helping you out under the context of going fast. Yeah, otherwise not a whole lot happening. Unfortunately, this is also not the last auto-scroller, but we'll give some time for donations in just a bit. Now we're moving on to the best bosses. The best. We've just got one more small stage. The tech boss himself is probably among the easiest, but he's also, I would say, one of the silliest, and then he has a mid-boss before him that honestly is a much more of an accomplishment as an art asset than as an actual mini-boss. There we go. One more gem. Oh yeah.
Love this boss.
Me too. He is getting about a frame worth of movement per each hit, but yeah, not much more than that.
I saw him move a pixel there.
There we go. It's not over yet. So this time they had the good intelligence to make a boss with a whole bunch of slanted areas, so I can just instantly set up a roll if I wanted. But a lot of it is still just setting up the invulnerability so I can get all the hits in that I need. He has significantly less HP than all the rest of the bosses. There we go. And that's tech. We got now the last world, and if you remember, I set these up in order of difficulty, so that should say just a little bit about what's coming up. But it's also the water world, so they do a couple things to make it interesting. All right. So some of the best stages are the ones that I don't have to do anything. And you know, if it works so well once, you might as well do it a second time. So there you go, 2 out of 4 water stages. Unfortunately, the next two are auto-scrollers, so we clear the way for donations if you need some.
All right, sounds great. So we have quite a few coming in. Lord Hayati donates $5.55. Warning, in case of games becoming sentient, please use PJ to Caesar. If he is not around, RNGesus help you. Hashtag hold on. Donating for Omni's second game, Time Cop cutscene %. That's right, Omni is playing Time Cop later on this marathon. A Jean-Claude Van Damme favorite. And those cutscenes are really something special to see. So definitely consider donating towards those. We're currently at $40 out of 2004. To give you just a little bit of a briefing, Time Cop is an SNES platformer which attempts to use platformer in quotes.
It is a game.
Which attempts to use just these weird graphics, and oh man, is it something amazing. You definitely want to see those cutscenes.
Yeah, I can vouch. You want to see the cutscenes.
Yeah. Lance Charlson donates $10.50. Hey, AGDQ. When you mentioned this was the caveman block, I got excited, but then I found Chuck Rock isn't on the schedule. Oh well, maybe next time. Anywho, keep up the good work and grill the animals. Barbecue. Not sure if serious, Lance. Chuck Rock is something.
Chuck Rock is what all the kids want to be. We've got another auto-scroller, though, so
All
feel
right,
free to keep going.
Let's keep them coming. Jaime Peña Sanchez donates $10. My thoughts go to the families of those affected by this terrible disease and to the poor thumbs of the speedrunners. Godspeed to you all. Anonymous donates $5. What can I say other than thank you to everyone involved? Donation goes to Reader's Choice of an unmet incentive because bid wars are fun, but when incentives are met, everyone wins. All right, well, you know what? I just talked up Time Cop cutscenes, so let's put it towards Time Cop cutscenes. I'll try this name. Schmusedecke donates $10. Long-time watcher, first-time donating. Greetings from Germany. SGM92248 donates $15. Hey guys, it's SGM92. Wanted to say wish you guys good luck for the charity run. Hashtag stop cancer.
All right. Finally almost get to do something. Yeah, save it for last, largely because, I mean, the stages prior to it are pretty easy. Unfortunately, this is one of the trickier bosses, and it's really hard to describe how he's difficult other than just having you try it yourself. But some of the strangest hitboxes in any game I've seen take place with this box. And I want you to keep in mind that most of the time, anytime that I actually hit him or he hits me, the hitbox is a square around his foot. So just watch and see where that might be sometimes. There, so I just got hit by his foot, believe it or not. There we go. Oh, I got hit a second time. Darn. It's all right. That was still okay.
Yeah, that was a hitbox for sure.
Yep. No, that was one of the major problems. So one of the members of the TAS and now the arcade community, Pasky, initially made a hitbox viewer script for this game, so I could inspect that to great detail and see just how dumb it was. But even then, like, there's only so much that you can do without being able to see it all the time. I have to play this a little slow. I just don't want to lose my super. Okay. And they dropped off an extra gem for me too. So now we begin the final set of stages, and this is something like the penultimate combination of gimmicks that they had in prior stages. But in the same way that I bypassed those gimmicks, I can just bypass these. There isn't as much of an importance on rolling throughout these stages because they have a lot of death traps, particularly this one. If you push that guy, you are screwed. There's no way otherwise to get underneath those crushers. And this is also somewhat of a trap. Just have to time it just right. and those spikes are instant death. So just have to be a little cautious, otherwise it's not too dangerous. There we go. All the instant rolls today.
What are you going to do with your 20 extra lives, Omni?
With my what?
20 extra lives.
20 extra lives. I don't know. This last boss is like, no joking. He is something. Granted, hopefully I'll get it the first try and no need for any secondary tries, but definitely. Oh. Okay, we're just going to take this nice and slow. Clear the way. This last boss is really serious business, and I'll get to the reasons why when we get to part of that phase, but just it's a really long fight, and there's more of those wonky hitboxes as part of it. So now we get our first rematch with Mr. Devil here, and he hasn't learned a thing since the last time we saw him. Okay. There's a lot of this that's just coming up with the right rhythm so that you can have a hitbox on them as soon as they become vulnerable again. But of course, that can't be the main big baddie. So we've got Charizard here to help us out. He needs a little bit of help with his aim.
How much room do you have to stand on the edge there?
Like 2 or 3 pixels.
Oh, wow.
Not a whole lot. But this is the problem. Charizard got angry and got buff. And so the only part that I can hit him is down the center. But he's got huge hitboxes on both of his arms that will tear you apart. So it really is important to maximize your positioning. Uh-oh. I'm going to need to play this safe now. So anytime he's in the middle, absolutely I am not going after him. There's just too much danger to it. That is not a good spot. Okay. So I have to play this a little cautiously. Normally, if I go into this part of the fight with full health, I can just tank the damage and really take him out. Okay. One more. There we go, time.
Nice.
And of course I get the girl in the end, because why not? And there you go. That's Congo's Caper, the Joe and Mac 2 that you never knew existed. All right. So thanks a bunch, everybody. It was a lot of fun to do that run. I've been doing that for years and years. I picked that up in 2013, and this is the first time it's actually appeared in the event proper, and it was a lot of fun. Thanks for joining me and Dram on Caveman Block. We'll get right on into what's the next game up? Batman. Batman's coming up. That's right.
Yeah, Return of the Joker.
You can't miss Batman. Yeah, so stay tuned for the Bat, and thank you.
Awesome job, Omni. I do have a quick announcement. Adventure Island 2 has now been moved to Thursday morning after the run Cornerstone. Currently, that's slotted for just after 7 a.m. So any Adventure Island 2 fans, your game will still be seen, and just tune in Thursday morning around 7 a.m. So many donations to read through. Tons and tons of exciting stuff.